You and Jenny Jen still kicking it? That's part one. And part two is, do you ever see yourself married one day?
Y'all, did Common just get caught red-handed cheating on Jennifer Hudson? Because Tiffany Haddish sure seems to think so. And the way she has been clowning J-Hud lately is brutal. Everybody and their mama knows Tiffany still has a chip on her shoulder about Common moving on from her with J-Hud, but now...
So as far as Jenny Jen,
I
love Jenny. Absolutely, we are together, and I just appreciate her as a partner, as a woman, as an artist, as a human being. She's a special individual, and man, it's just, I'm just grateful for it. I thank God, and yes, we are good. Marriage is something that if I were to get married, then Jennifer is the person.
Oh, she the prototype?
She is but she's not only the prototype, she is the person.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's one of those things where I'm like always looking at my life and saying, well, okay, because that's a strong choice to make, you know.
Absolutely. Not to be taken lightly.
It's like she's finally getting her lick back, and she's doing it in the pettiest way possible.
Responded.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave us to Jennifer.
For months, the streets have been whispering that J-Hud might not know the man she's dealing with.
We'll talk about the other T a little later.
Yeah.
What?
Common. You not that in?
You get cut off, and you motherfuckers brought the T.
Folks have been warning her that Common S got a long history of smooth talking and short loving.
I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna put nothing extra on it. If he want to marry me, he can give me an apartment building.
Oh, okay. That would be, you don't want a ring, you want an apartment complex.
I'd give me a duplex, an eightplex or something. The homegirls be like, where your ring? I thought you was engaged. Where your ring? Where your carrots? Carrots. Girl, please, I got units. Knock it off.
And now it is looking like she is learning that lesson the hard way.
I'm gonna do what's good for me and the lady. Right now, all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
Word is he's already been spotted with a new woman on his arm. And Jennifer?
We both have professions. Well, I think once Tiffany and I got back on the move, it really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship. And as you said, neither one of us is gonna stop.
She's been spiraling ever since. And guess who's eating this drama up like Sunday dinner? Tiffany Haddish.
Both care about our crafts and what we do. And we care about love too and partnership, but I think, the energy that has been put into our careers and continuing to want to do the things that we do for ourselves and for the people, it's like, it was hard for me.
The bitter ex energy is strong, and she's not even hiding it.
To balance all of that and keep the relationship.
She's been throwing shade left, right, and center. Some subtle, some not so subtle. And fans swear she's loving every messy second of it.
And he says the work he's doing on himself will help him fulfill a lifelong dream. And you write a lot about you want to be a husband one day. You have a rather famous relationship coach.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Michelle Obama. She has definitely helped talk me through just certain moments of relationships. We had conversations.
But here's the million-dollar question. Why would Common cheat on Jennifer Hudson of all people?
And she has given me a lot of wisdom. But one great thing that she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect. So understand that there's some certain things that you will compromise in choosing that partner. But as long as the core values, the values that are most important to you, that person, marks off on that list, then you good.
She gave you some good advice there.
That's good wisdom.
Who's this mysterious new woman? And is Tiffany plotting to slide back in while J-Hud's nursing her wounds? Let's be real. This wasn't hard to predict. Common has never been the forever type. No matter how many times he hints that he's ready to settle down, His dating resume tells another story. High-profile flings, whirlwind romances, and breakups that hit the blogs before the relationship even cools down. Still, a lot of fans held on to hope that J. Hud would be different. That she'd be the one to make him slow his roll, plant some roots, maybe even start a family. But that dream's looking dead on arrival. Word on the street is that Common has been cheating on her heavy, and she's devastated. What makes it even more shocking is that just weeks ago, this man was out here telling the world that Jennifer was the one and even hinting about marriage. Turns out, while he was making all those sweet public declarations, behind the scenes he was out here doing what he does best, keeping his options very open. And while plenty of people are sending sympathy J. Hud's way, Tiffany Haddish is definitely not one of them. In fact, one insider claims Tiffany has been savoring every moment of this cheating scandal as it unravels. And honestly, if you've kept tabs on her since she and Common broke up, you shouldn't be shocked. She has never truly hidden how hung up she still was on him. And she has been dropping breadcrumbs for years that she believed he cheated on her with Jennifer in the first place. Case in point. During one Instagram Live, a fan told Tiffany the ED given Common a pair of earrings to pass along to her and asked if she ever got them. Without missing a beat, Tiffany shot back with pure, unfiltered shade. She said, "Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave them to Jennifer." Messy? Absolutely. But it also might have been her way of hinting at what she really believed went down behind closed doors. Now, if Jennifer Hudson really was messing with Common while he was still with Tiffany Haddish, that would explain everything. Every side-eye, every shady Instagram comment, every accidental jab Tiffany S thrown over the past couple years, it would all suddenly make perfect sense. And honestly, it would also explain why Tiffany seems to be loving every single second of this new cheating scandal. To her, this isn't just gossip. This is karma coming full circle. In Tiffany's mind, she's not watching a heartbreak. She's watching justice in real time. But here's where it gets messy. Some fans actually think Tiffany might see this as the perfect opening to slide right back in. Because let's be real, she's never truly hidden the fact that she's still hung up on Common. The whole rumored side chick thing, that wouldn't scare her off. If she saw even the slightest chance of getting him back, she'd be like, "Come close to me, baby," without hesitation. Think about it. When Tiffany first got with Common, it was obvious she was way more invested than he was. She was the one who pushed for them to go public during the pandemic. She made sure to show him off on Instagram Lives. Remember that one with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union? She was tilting the camera just enough to make sure her man was in frame. She was all in, but the energy didn't exactly feel mutual. Tiffany couldn't stop gushing about Common, especially when it came to her birthday plans. She wanted it to be special, even spelling out her dream day in interviews. Hot air ballooning, a romantic meal, a real just us moment. She even compared it to her past birthdays. 39th getting drunk with her grandma, 40th having a full-on bat mitzvah party. But this one, her 41st, she wanted to be magical. And what did Common do? Not only did he skip the whole hot air balloon idea, but he didn't plan anything for her birthday. Sources say he sent her flowers. And sure, that's nice. But for a big milestone birthday, that's the bare minimum. Tiffany was even thinking long-term. She told the world she wanted Common to propose. But instead of an engagement ring, she wanted an apartment building. That was her way of saying she wanted to build a future with him, both emotionally and financially. But Common? He didn't take the hint. In fact, the way he acted made it pretty clear he was in it for a good time, not a long time. So it wasn't exactly shocking when they called it quits just a couple months later. Fans were low-key relieved, saying Tiffany had finally broken free from Common's chokehold. But here's the kicker. Common was the one who pulled the plug. And then, instead of just owning it, he tried to spin the breakup by blaming their busy schedules. Tiffany wasn't about to let him get away with that. She clapped back with her own truth, saying flat out that Common might just be the kind of man who is never going to truly settle down with anybody. And looking at what's going on now with J. Hud, that statement is aging like fine wine. Maybe Common's like a bee, buzzing from flower to flower, never staying long enough for the petals to close around him. Tiffany even hinted at that herself, saying, "I wish nothing but joy and happiness." But the way she said it, It felt like a wink-wink, nudge-nudge moment, a little dig wrapped up in fake positivity. She didn't outright say he cheated, but she didn't have to. And when Common moved on with Jennifer Hudson, Tiffany didn't just fade into the background. Nope. She brought it up again in interviews, making sure the world knew their breakup wasn't mutual. She called it the healthiest, most fun relationship she'd ever had, the one where she felt the safest. But then she dropped the kicker. It ended because he said it was running its course. Her response? A sharp, "Okay, you're gonna be a 50-year-old single man. Okay." Now here we are, and it us looking like Common might be running the exact same play with J Hud, luring her in, building up this fantasy, then possibly stepping out on her while the relationship's still warm. And the wildest part? Tiffany and Jennifer aren't alone in this story. They were just the latest chapter in a long book of heartbreaks with Common S names stamped on the cover. We're talking Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Erykah Badu, Angela Rye, and a few others I won't even name drop yet. But the pattern is always the same. The woman gets attached, maybe even starts imagining forever, and then Common hits her with a psych and bounces. And here is the real tea. These breakups aren't exactly leaving anyone on friendly terms, especially Erykah Badu. Because according to her, Common didn't just walk away. He did her dirty. Let's rewind. Common and Erykah started dating in 2000 and lasted about 2 years before things ended in late 2002. At first, Erykah kept it quiet, but Common, he wasted no time telling his version of events. He claimed she caught feelings for another man and dumped him over the phone. He even went into detail. She called me while I was in my hotel room on tour and was like, "Hey, I don't want to be in this relationship no more." I'm like, "It's somebody else." He called her his first love, his first heartbreak, saying he was left floating and in a haze. Cute story, right? Except Erykah eventually got tired of him painting her as the villain. She clapped back, subtly but effectively, by hinting that infidelity played a role. She didn't name names, but she didn't have to. She said, "Infidelity is not a deal breaker for me, but I do understand the nature of these men I've been with. They have a need to chase." Translation? Common had been chasing something or someone outside the relationship. Which means that while he was out here spinning the narrative that she caught feelings for another man, he might have been the one stepping out. And that's the thing about Common, he got a gift for flipping the script. Even after things ended with Angela Rye, he suddenly went into image rehab mode. He started talking about how he'd gone to therapy, how he was ready to be a better partner, how he'd done the work. But judging by what's going down with J Hud, therapy either didn't stick, or he needs to go get his money back. Because if these cheating rumors are true, that whole better partner talk was nothing more than PR fluff. And if Jennifer Hudson really thought she was the exception, she might just be finding out she's the rule. But what makes all of this sting even more is the fact that J Hud has already been through hell when it comes to love. And she didn't deserve another heartbreak. People forget, but her relationship history isn't just about Hollywood glitz. It's marked by unimaginable tragedy. Remember her long-term relationship with wrestler-turned-actor David Otunga? Their romance took a horrifying turn just weeks after they got engaged in 2008, when Jennifer's mother, brother, and young nephew were all tragically killed by her estranged brother-in-law. It was the kind of loss that would shatter anyone's world. In that moment, Jennifer needed stability, someone solid to lean on while she tried to pick up the pieces of her life. And to his credit, David stepped up at first. He stayed by her side, planned little getaways to help her escape the grief, and tried to help her find pockets of light in the darkest time of her life. By late 2008, she was pregnant, and in 2009, they welcomed their son, David Jr. For a while, it looked like life might finally be falling back into place for her. The small family smiled for red carpets, shared loving Instagram posts, and gave the world hope that Jennifer had found her forever. But cracks started to show. By 2010, after more than 2 years engaged, people were whispering about why they still hadn't walked down the aisle. Rumor had it they were supposed to marry that year, but the wedding was quietly postponed. And then, it all collapsed. The breakup was far from clean, and Jennifer dropped some chilling allegations. She accused David of becoming increasingly aggressive, controlling, and even harassing toward both her and their son. She claimed it escalated to mental and physical abuse. At one point, she said he sent her disturbing messages that shook her so badly she called security to make sure he wouldn't show up at the studio and cause a scene. But things only got darker. Jennifer alleged that later that same day, David confronted her at home, grabbed their young son by the arm, and took him upstairs to the master bedroom, shutting the door in her face while still holding onto their child. Whether you believe every detail or not, the accusations painted a disturbing picture of a toxic, collapsing relationship. So yeah, J. Hud absolutely deserved better than that. But here's the million-dollar question. Was Common really an upgrade? Because if these cheating rumors are true, she may have just swapped one bad situation for another. Different packaging, same heartbreak. Now she's the latest woman to land on Common's long, messy list of exes. And true to form, if history repeats itself, he'll be quietly soft-launching his next romance like nothing ever happened, while the world is still talking about this one. And then there's Tiffany Haddish, sitting back with popcorn, watching this whole thing unfold like the season finale of a reality show. She's not just making little jokes anymore, she's dropping shade so heavy it is practically casting a solar eclipse over J. Hud as whole situation. Whether it's payback, pettiness, or pure comedy, she's making sure everyone sees exactly how fast Common's love story can flip upside down. Now the question is, was this Tiffany just having some fun at her ex's expense, or did she just rip open wounds Jennifer is still bleeding from? Either way, one thing's for sure. Two things are certain. This chapter is not the end. Because word on the street is, J. Hud might not be done with Common just yet. Some say she's plotting to win him back. Others swear she's gearing up to hit back harder than anyone expects. And if that's true, whew. The next round of this drama is about to make this one look like child's play.